All right. So, yeah, I'm just testing it. Looks like we're live on both Facebook and YouTube is connecting. And there we are. Let me make sure I can hear us talking about things.
Should I be
Yep.
paying attention to you or should I continue
No,
using the social
just
media?
keep doing whatever you're doing. I'm just making sure. Yeah, hey, it's working on both platforms.
Oh
So
my
glad we started
gosh.
early.
Me too. Hold
So
on.
glad we've been sitting here for 45 minutes. Oh, sorry.
Um, let's be very honest. We've only been sitting here for like 20 minutes.
You're very quiet,
Am I too
very
quiet?
subdued. No, I mean you usually talk louder.
Yeah, it's my new thing. I'm just going to be like this now. Okay.
This is your new energy level.
This is my
Mm.
new energy
So
level.
so glad we started doing live because your energy level is amazing. You really
This
you're
is the
really
energy.
challenging me to tone it down a little bit here. All right.
This is
So we got about 2 minutes. 2 minutes till we start.
People can see my earrings now. I won't show them later
They
because
look
no one's
great
here.
on the oh
No one's here to see them. But look, I idolize Mr. T.
So you said you have production notes today?
I have a few production notes.
Okay, cool. Good. Good. Like the production
Yeah,
notes.
I have a few things that I've been on my mind.
Oh, okay. Am I in trouble about something?
You are not.
Good. Okay. I'm going to move us over a 10 so I can. Cool. Well, we're live on both. We'll get started here in a minute or so. How are you liking the camera follow?
I honestly, I think that for some people it might be completely unnecessary, but for me, I think it's probably a good idea. What do you think?
It's kind of like, it's RoboCop. It's just like,
It's like, oh, she's
target
ignoring
lock.
you now. She's ignoring you now. Ignoring you. Oh,
Mhm.
nope. She's paying attention.
Hey,
Paying
there she
attention.
is.
I
She's
might feel,
back.
I might feel a little too called out by it. We'll see.
I don't know. It's gonna make my editing a lot easier. I can tell you that much. So if
Because
you
you
want
don't
to
have to
keep doing
crop
it,
me
that's
so
fine.
much. I I
Yeah.
was I was honestly trying it because I thought it might improve the video quality with like AI.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'd love to keep chatting with you, but it's 6 o'clock,
Oh
so I have to
shit.
start the
Okay.
show.
All
All
right.
right. Okay.
I feel like we need to
So
sing the Muppet Show theme song.
yeah, and well, I wanted to have the music ready, and soon it will. Oh, that's nice. So, for folks, hello, thank you for joining us.
Hi.
Mildly interesting people. This is the production meeting, which means you get a view behind the scenes to see what's going on. Uh, this time, one of our experiments is we're not only doing YouTube live, but we're also doing Facebook live simultaneously. So we're trying both of those. And the interesting thing about Facebook is it didn't broadcast any of that stuff prior to 6 o'clock. It just started right at 6, which is interesting.
Huh.
Whereas YouTube, oh, right on time. Spike is
Hey,
here.
Spike.
Hey, Spike. So to get things started, production meeting. I'm the producer, so I'm supposed to run this thing. I'm Rick Turoczy. This is Cami Chaos. She's the talent. She's here to provide production notes and jingle jangle her bracelets
We have different bracelets today. New
and
day.
hopefully subdue the cat in some way or another. So the idea behind the production meeting is we kind of start by just talking about random stuff like what we're watching and all that kind of thing. And then we take the opportunity to test drive mildly interesting questions. For those of you who may not have seen the show, we have a segment with every guest where we ask them a series of 5 mildly interesting questions. For every guest, they're the same 5 questions. But for this show, the production meeting, because you're part of the production crew and you're helping us figure this out, we test drive new questions with one another. So Cami asks me questions I've never seen. I ask her questions she's never seen. And if you like them and you think, well, that's a good question, you should ask that to a guest, you should comment and let us know. And we will think about adding that to the rotation. Cami, you look
Yes.
pensive. Do you have anything
I
to add?
I was gonna apologize to the people for being over here. I was trying to take a picture of the cat because I thought that might shut him up because he
Mhm.
doesn't like it when I take his picture, and so he usually just goes away. But no, he just sat there being pretty.
Oh, and I thought the camera followed you. That's what Cami's trying this time is that she's got the face follow going on the
It's
camera.
just the software that does it though. It's not the. Unfortunately, I don't have a camera that follows me around. But I mean, we could work on that too. We could just turn this into a reality show, and we could get one of
Yeah,
those
that would
guys
be
on those little rolly wheels things that on an iPad face that just follow you around.
oh, yeah, the present thing. I can't remember what that was called. I used to go to a bunch of trade shows where they had those and they would roll around and talk to you at booths and stuff. And I'd just be like, go away or I'm going to kick you over and puncture
And
your
how many
tire.
of them did you kick over?
None, because they went away when I told them to go away. They
Good job.
respected my space.
Good job communicating. I'm very proud of you.
I was communicating my feelings and my discomfort, and they respected it. So, production meeting is going
Production
swimmingly
meeting.
so far. Like, are there any? Are there any? What are you watching? Like shows you want to talk about? Like, it's been a series of endings and endings of series for us, which has been a little challenging. I mean, I can't. We watched John Wick 4.
That's also
How,
an ending.
how did you feel about that? Yeah, that's definitely ending. How did you feel about that one?
I love Keanu. So that was good. He
Where
was
does it
delightful.
rank in the John Wicks?
Second or third. I've only seen it once. I need to watch it again. It's
I would have
definitely
assumed you liked it better than 3.
yeah. So it's I need to watch 2 and 4 and compare and contrast them. Um,
Okay.
I did love. I mean, like I have a huge weakness for Lawrence Fishburne, and I love that he was included in the movie. But I feel like we didn't get enough Lawrence Fishburne in the movie. Maybe, perhaps.
Yeah, and it was very. Uh, I don't
And
mean
no
this in
Willem.
like
I wanted some sort of callback to Willem Dafoe.
yeah, that's fair. It was very uneven. Like it was either very slow or like so much action that you were getting exhausted watching the action scene.
Yes, there were action sequences, and this is a compliment in its own way that I actually wanted to pause mid action sequence just so I could like process all of the violence that had been done. That was absolutely beautifully
Hmm.
choreographed and amazing, so that I could then catch up on the additional violence that was about to happen. There was one particular scene though that was just, and y'all should know that John Wick 1 is one of my all time favorite movies. The choreography, the fighting in this movie, I love the John Wick series. But the stairs, that's not a spoiler for anyone, but anyone who's seen it will know that the stairs scene is exhausting.
Yes,
I
agreed.
thought you were about to be like, no, no, I don't know what you're talking
No,
about. And I was like,
there
have
were
you watched the
several.
same? Yeah.
There were several that were exhausting. Any other things that you're watching before we get into mildly interesting
I just
questions?
want to talk about Ted Lasso again
Okay, let's talk about that again.
because I'm going to be
I
really
just, I just want to make sure that the folks on
I'm not going to do a spoiler.
right, no spoilers,
No
but
spoilers.
let us know if you've seen Ted Lasso or not.
I
But of
feel like
course,
we
this will be
have to have at least
recorded.
3 weeks before we can talk about Ted Lasso without more and Succession both without spoiling things. So no
Fair.
spoilers. But the day after we watched the Ted Lasso finale, Rick found um, a YouTuber that had found like a bunch of Easter eggs in the YouTube or in the
Well,
season
a bunch
finale,
of
and a bunch of
callbacks
people,
to
yeah, a bunch of
yeah.
callbacks and Easter eggs, and that some that they found and some that were submitted,
I'll
and
make a note to link
to link
that
that
up.
up because it was really great. Also made me cry more than the season series finale did. for a multitude of reasons, both timing and it just shows the thoughtfulness and the string that connects everything that happens in that series and is just absolutely beautiful. And there was also a lot of great hair in it.
Yes.
I want to talk about the hair of two people in particular.
Okay. Please do.
Trent Krim and Danny Rojas.
Uh-huh. They both have fantastic hair.
Yes, they do. And that's all I have to say about that.
Cool. Well, that was a great conversation. I'm glad you brought that up.
Thanks. It wasn't a conversation, it was a monologue. I apologize.
No, I meant the part about the hair. Really, I'd really like to talk about the hair. Okay. 5
Here's
seconds
the thing.
later,
Hannah
done.
Waddingham has perfect hair throughout the entire series. Her hair is phenomenal throughout the entire series, but like it's coiffed perfectly. It's like a sculpture. It's not like a living,
It's
breathing
shellacked.
organism. Yeah, it's shellacked. Yeah. But both Trent and Danny, their hair is like it's like Rick with the outdoors. You never know what it's gonna do. It's there. It's like it has a life of its own. It's its own character. It's like the Kate from Doctor Strange.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I thought you said Kate. And I was
Kate.
like, I don't remember there being a Kate.
The Kate from the Doctor Strange movies. Yeah. Okay, I'm done now.
Okay. All right, y'all. You done? Are we ready to move into mildly interesting question test drive?
Oh, yes.
All right. So for those of you who may not have been here before, mildly interesting questions is the lightning round.
Come on, Spike. Come on over.
Spike wants to participate. So Cami asked me 5 questions. I need to answer them as quickly as I can or say pass. However, saying pass does not allow me to avoid the question. I have to come back and answer it. And because there's no clock, then we just kind of have to keep going with things. And we have comments. Thanks, Mark Duarte.
Hey, Mark.
He hasn't seen John Wick or Ted Lasso, but he's going to add them both to his list. And yeah, they're that I cannot think of 2 different shows to watch at the same, but they're both great
special for their own reasons. Mark, you're gonna love some of the combat scenes there's some like really close. I know this person really well. Sorry, you're gonna love the close quarter combat scenes, especially some of the work that they do on subway trains in the earlier movies. I can't wait to hear what you think. Okay. I used to play way too much D&D with that guy, so.
Oh, is he with that Chad Sniffin guy?
I don't think Mark and Chad ever played D&D together, but Mark could let us know in the comments. I believe Mark's sister used to hang out with Chad, but I don't think Mark did.
All right. Well, okay. I'm learning history.
Yeah, these are my Vacaville peeps.
Vacaville. Exciting Vacaville peeps showing up to the live streams.
Who are no longer in Vacaville, but Hi.
Well, Vacaville escapee.
Yes, my Vacaville escapee peeps.
All right, cool. All right, so let's get going with my questions, and I'll do my best, even though I don't like this part, and then we can do yours.
If it makes you feel any better, the first question is from Mahesh. Does that help?
Oh, Mahesh. Mahesh was on vacation for a while from his questions.
He was. But he has sent me 5 or 6 more, so we're good. Question number 1. Production team go. Did you ever watch The A-Team?
How could I not watch The A-Team? Is a better question. Yes, I was a regular watcher of The A-Team. Huge fan of Mr. T, and Spike loved The A-Team too. And
he loves Mr. T also. Yeah.
And Cami has Mr. T earrings on for the show.
I put them on because I knew I would be asking this question, and I was inspired by the Mr. T.
And the fun fact is Dirk Spike, dude,
You're rude. Spike, come here.
let's deal with the cat, and then I
Okay.
will finish my question.
Let me get him. Everybody, one moment, please.
You can turn the camera off.
Oh, I forgot her thing. Come on, buddy.
And we're waiting, and I'm live streaming by myself, which is great. Super
Hey.
interesting. Jeez,
But we have a
Yogi.
cat. Just shush. Okay. You were saying, Rick. I'm gonna start again.
Okay. That
Did you
sounds
ever
great.
did you ever watch the A-Team?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I did quite religiously. It was on. If I have any religion, it is the A-Team. That is my religion. I love it when a plan comes together. Spike, you're stomping on every line.
He is.
Every line.
Spike is like one of those awful episodic villains that you just think you're going to get rid of and it just keeps coming back.
So, as I was saying before Spike so rudely interrupted, I really like Mr. T for obvious reasons. I still remember Mr. T from ABC Wide World of Sports bartender battles. Oh, bouncer battles.
Bouncer battles.
Where you'd have to like break through the door and ring the bell and pour a drink and all those kind of things. But the fun fact is Dirk Benedict, whose given name is Dirk Nyewaner, is an alum of my college. So
Oh,
he and Adam West, those are our two claim to fames. So
very nice.
claims to fame,
Claims-
not claim to
claims to fame.
fames.
Yeah.
Claim to
mhm.
fames.
I see
Okay.
where the language got confused, but no, that's fantastic. It's so
The
exciting.
cat
And
screwed
the
me
cat
up.
screwed everything up. I do want to ask one other question. Do you acknowledge the existence of the A-Team movie?
I know there is an A-Team movie. I know I have watched it,
You have.
and that's where my commentary will end.
Okay, thank you. Moving on.
I
to
do
question-
like wasn't Bradley Cooper face in that one?
Yes, Bradley Cooper is the reason I watched the
Yeah.
A-Team movie. Yeah, that was a pretty
And
standout
Liam
role for
Neeson.
him.
Liam Neeson was Hannibal,
Hannibal.
right?
Correct. All right, are you ready?
Yeah. I need to refresh myself after thinking about the A-Team movie. Just one moment. What night was that on? Was that Thursday nights?
My child brain doesn't recall what night that was on.
I don't
watched
remember
it in
what
reruns.
it was. What it was with. It was like with Riptide. And it was
My
like,
brain pairs it with Magnum PI for some reason, though I know it wasn't
Magnum
that.
PI
I didn't
was
think they
on
were on the
Sundays.
same channel.
No,
Oh.
Magnum PI was CBS.
Okay.
And I think they ran him on Sundays after 60 Minutes. I think he was on immediately after that,
Wow. Okay.
if I remember correctly.
I want you to look it up because I want to know if you do, because I want to be impressed.
All right, we'll see. I'm probably wrong.
Okay. Question 2.
Just one sec. I would like to offer that why were there so many private investigator TV shows and like
Because
The
we
A-Team's
didn't trust the Popo.
the A-Team's kind of private investigatory, but there was like Magnum, there was Riptide, there was Simon and Simon, there was A-Team, there was
The A-Team wasn't the private investigators. They were like the private SWAT team.
well, yeah, but I mean they were hired private police basically.
I'm
So they're
saying
like
they're
a
the
PI.
next level to that. Yeah. It's because we didn't trust the police.
Why were we so obsessed with that?
Mhm. Why are we not more obsessed with that now?
I don't think we can afford to hire PIs now.
That's really good.
Okay,
And the internet,
Anyway.
everyone thinks they're a PI.
fair.
Okay. Question number 2. If you had to pick just one kind of book to read for the rest of your life, which genre would it be?
Oof.
Yeah, I know.
Historical nonfiction.
Historical nonfiction. Where did my pen go?
I
I
don't
want
know.
to write this down. This is important information. Is there anything that makes you like you can choose not to elaborate, but that's very specific. I love it.
I'm just like, there's so much history
Yeah.
and there's so much to learn from it. And there's so many things that actually happened that
Yes.
if I were forced to just read one thing, it would be those, because I feel like I would, for what little history I've studied, I've always benefited from. And I mean, I don't mean US elementary school system history. I have gained nothing from that. But like in college and like in as an adult, like historical nonfiction, I've always gained a lot from that.
Nice. Question number 3.
Yes.
If you could snap your fingers and be completely fluent in an additional language, which language would it be?
Japanese.
Excellent. Question number 4, kind of taking a turn away from those like intellectual, let's think about things. I want some feelings. It's feelings time.
Oh,
Yeah. Where was Little Rick's favorite place in the world to be? 10 or under.
well, I've already told people that. In Montessori school, it was a tent in the corner where no one else was.
Tent in
I
the
also
corner
had
at
I also
Montessori
had this
school with your best friend.
I also had this great fort underneath a desk in my parents' bedroom
Mm-hmm.
that I like stole a lamp and everything and like brought it in there, and it was like a great little fort. You may be starting to sense a theme here. Like anywhere I could be completely alone away from people was my favorite place to be,
Nice.
pretty much.
All right. You only have one question left for this week.
Wow.
Are you ready? It is the
Jordan Hales is listening on the YouTubes.
Hi, Jordan.
Thanks for joining us, Jordan. It's good to see you here. I mean,
Rick,
see you typing, because like
he
that's
can't
all we
see
can
you.
see.
It's good
is
to have you
typing.
see us, but I miss your face.
Thank you for typing at us.
Okay, question number 5. Why did you hate Plurk?
Because it went the wrong way. Do people know what Plurk is?
It went the wrong way.
So
It was a
Plurk
failed
was a
social media platform.
yeah, it was a social media platform. The idea behind it was that you could see a timeline and you were posting your updates along a timeline, but the timeline ran the wrong way. So
It's very
you were
confusing.
you were forever going into the past with the timeline, yet you were updating it with things from the future. And then their mascot was a pig or a dog that
I
had
think it
no
was a
head.
dog. I think it was a headless dog, but it still had a bone sticking out of its neck.
Yeah.
So it looked
just
like a Flintstones steak with bones sticking
It was,
out of
and it wasn't even that spine. It was just a bone.
Yeah.
Like I'll have to find that. I'm gonna make a production note to find that and link it up.
Please do.
Because Plurk, no, just no. And I think it's still around.
It is, but I think it's doing something else now. It came up in chat the other day, and I was like, "Oh my god, someone else knows about Plurk." Jeez. All right.
Oh, Plurk. I know.
Right.
If only Nate Angel were in attendance, he would have something to say about Plurk.
I know Nate would have
He
something.
loved the Plurk.
I hated that it went the wrong way. I didn't know what you were going to say. I didn't know why you were going to say that you hated it, but that time goes the wrong way on Plurk is the reason that I've always hated it. All right. That was fantastic. You have answered your 5 questions.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank
I was
you.
just going to say Plurk was a multiverse in and of itself, time
Uh-huh.
going the wrong way and things. All right. Well, any of those where you're like, oh, that's a good enough one to potentially consider?
I mean, did you ever watch The A-Team? Is pretty good, but it's a
Yeah,
pretty
but
big
that's
yes
a
or
little,
no.
yeah, that's gonna.
The language one is interesting. I think we could learn a lot about people from if you could snap your fingers and be completely fluent in another language.
I liked your book one too, and
you.
Jordan mentions that like technology, internet history is always so good too. So like
Yeah.
that could be a really interesting one for folks to respond to. So I like that one a lot.
What I'm hearing is you like my questions this week, and I'm very proud of that. Thank you. That makes me feel good.
Cool. Well, that's you know me. I'm all about spreading those good vibes. That's just how I do.
Mr. Cheerleader, would you like
That's
to ask
right.
me some
So
questions?
peppy cheerleader. Oh, I do have questions for you. Funny you should ask.
Oh,
Yes, it's
this is going to hurt,
now
isn't it?
it's now Cami's turn to answer my mildly interesting questions.
Oh, how the tables have turned.
Let her get her lumbar support in place for these questions.
I
Are
need
you
to
ready?
be limber. I need to be limbered up to answer the questions. I had to get my legs stretched out, my arms. Okay, let's do it. I gotta take a sip of this.
I just want we're on a Jordan sees us with a little bit of delay, so she's a little bit behind us, but she does want to see a recreation of my Montessori school tent that I used to hang out in, which could
Jordan,
be
I believe this
challenging.
could be a short, but I don't believe that we can recreate it in the way that it was. Cultural sensitivity is not something that people were strong on back then.
Especially in
And
Texas.
yeah,
And they still aren't now, even today.
right. So Rick is kindly and fondly remembering it as a tent. They would call it something else.
It wasn't a tent. That's not, yeah.
It was a cultural appropriation of native. It was a native cultural
culture,
appropriation.
yes.
Appropriation, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's
But I
partially
think we're gonna put up a tent in the backyard. Maybe something more like a what do you call those things that I like to hang out in? A cabana. That would also be culturally appropriate.
Yeah.
We're gonna put up a hermit hut in the backyard, and I'll film Rick sitting in the hermit hut in the backyard, playing with his best friend, the golden walnut.
Littered with golden walnuts.
Yeah.
I'll have many friends there. All right. Go watch the TED Talk. I'll link it up.
He'll link to the TED Talk.
Please, I need more views. So,
He's a view hoarder.
I do like the views.
They make you feel good. Dopamine.
No, they don't. They make ad revenue for the TED organization. Like
they don't make. Well, then why are you promoting it? They don't make ad revenue.
I don't know because I have
it makes your ego feel lovely. It's dopamine.
Might have 330,000 views. I don't know.
I don't even have a TED Talk. No one's ever asked me to give a TED Talk. So
all right. Anyway, those were the days back when people were asking me to give talks.
And you got a photo shoot. Sexy photo shoot.
I had a billboard. Boy, oh boy.
Yeah, but
times
sexy
were good.
partner on a billboard with a perfectly maintained beard, and I got to pick the outfit. It was fantastic.
Times were so that we were
that
living the high life before the pandemic. Okay, let's get going with your questions. Enough. That was historical, practically fiction. I don't even think that was nonfiction. Oh no!
Rick will also be.
Jordan's gonna watch it and take notes.
Yeah,
and she'll probably send me the notes.
Thank you, Jordan. Send him notes. There are a few moments where you just want to hug him. You just want to squish him and be like, "Oh, Rick, I'm so sorry." Wait,
please.
We can move on.
Thank you. You're making me uncomfortable. All right.
I can tell your cheeks are the color of your wall.
I need my shine sheets. So luckily this is just a production meeting. No one's ever going to see this, right?
Sure.
Oh,
do you want to ask me questions, or should we talk about you some more?
No, let's get to your questions. I think that would be a great thing to do. All right. So mildly interesting questions for Cami.
I don't need this
lightning round.
Clinging to it for comfort. Put it down.
Okay, you ready?
No. Let's do it.
Which Hostess treat is your very favorite?
Cupcake.
with the little squiggle.
The chocolate cupcake with the chocolate frosting with the little squiggle and the cream filling. I can't have it anymore because it's full of gluten, but that's my cupcake. That is my hostess treat, the chocolate
Interesting.
cupcake. Occasionally, because I can also go every once in a while, you'd sneak in one of the orange cupcakes with the orange frosting.
Uh-huh.
And it's the same thing. It's just orange flavored instead. You don't want them together. I'm not an orange and chocolate go together person, but like, yeah, the chocolate cupcake is my go-to hostess treat.
Follow-up question, if I may.
Yes.
Did you ever get frustrated with how hard Hostess was pushing the fruit pie, the magician shit on us in comic books?
We're gonna take a little trip down memory lane, folks. Okay. Here's the thing to know about Cami. Cami doesn't like fruit pie. Cami thinks fruit pie is disgusting.
Even McDonald's,
I
like
don't
apple
wanna
pie, cherry
No,
pie?
I hated it. I will eat the filling out of a pie if the filling is really good. I don't.
What about Whiffies?
Wait, I was about to get there. That's the trip down memory lane. So then you fast forward, right? I am used to these Hostess nasty hand pies and the McDonald's nasty hand pies. Also, the Hostess hand pies were frosted on the outside, and pies shouldn't be frosted. That was completely unnecessary. It's like frosting a Pop-Tart. There, I said it. You shouldn't frost Pop-Tart. I don't like frosting on my Pop-Tarts. I don't.
Whoa.
You can eat any Pop-Tart you like. I don't like frosting on my Pop-Tart.
You're incorrect. The Hostess did not have
They had
frosting.
a white glaze.
That was
they?
a different brand. No, there was a different brand of fruit pie that did have a glaze.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay.
it wasn't the Hostess one.
I thought you were telling me that it was good that the glaze was on it, and I was like, I reject. All right.
No.
So anyway, fast forward to like, I don't know, when did Whiffies launch? 2005?
6
2006?
ish. Cartopia. I don't
Greg
remember.
launches a cart called Whiffies, and it's nothing but hand pies. And my weakness,
Empanadas.
Yeah, empanadas. My weakness is laid bare for all the world to see. Lemon pie. I will eat every crumbly. So, if Hostess had made decent lemon pies, that would have been the answer, but they didn't. So the answer is cupcakes. And the secondary is, Greg, I really miss your lemon pies, but also I can't have gluten anymore, so it doesn't matter. But you made me really happy, dude. Thanks.
Fun fact, Whiffies did not start until 2009.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, it became such a huge part of our lives. Like, honestly.
your fruit pie, like, I'm not going to take credit for the question because it's definitely your response. People are up in arms about the fruit pies on the Facebook.
I know. I'm not saying that you all shouldn't love fruit pie. You should. But I don't. Mark
says Janet is Team Cami on the frosting.
I love you, Janet.
Janet says no icing on Pop-Tarts. This is the way. See?
This is why Janet, I got you. You got me. I love you.
I think we lost Jordan. I think she's watching my TEDx talk and critiquing it. So
why couldn't you wait until after to share that?
I don't know. It's not like I dropped it in chat. Okay.
All right, let's do this.
You've only answered one question. Can we keep going?
Yeah, let's do the other. I can't believe you got me to answer more passionately about the sub question than about the initial question. Let's go. Let's see what's next.
Spike is upset. Okay. I'm wondering if he's watching my head motion and he knows when I'm going to start talking. Okay.
I think he may have gone down the stairs. I hope you closed your door.
Oh, no, he's welcome to come down here. So, next question. Are you ready? You have to buy an upright standing video game, like a cabinet video game, or it could be a tabletop, but it has to be, and it can only have one game on it. It can't be one of those like 20 different games on it kind of thing.
Tetris.
With like, for a cabinet video game, you choose Tetris? Do you want to rethink your answer, or
Yes,
do
I do. I really do. There's this, but I don't know the name of it, and it's super violent,
Okay.
and I feel really embarrassed. There's this zombie game. It's like it was a shooter game before they had the first-person shooter games that you could play at home, and it was like a first-person zombie shooter game, and all you could shoot with the zombies. And I don't know the name of it, but
Did you have it? Does it have a joystick controller or a pistol controller?
it had a pistol controller.
Okay.
Do you want me to answer something with a? Because if you want me to answer
No,
something
no,
with a
no.
joystick,
I was just curious because we can look it up and figure out what game that was.
and I
like-
loved it. I loved it so much. I just loved shooting the zombies so much.
Yeah, it has to be one of those games that you want to play over and over, and you can never really get that good at.
Yeah.
So I like that answer.
Yeah,
That's a
and the
good
last
answer.
time I saw it was at Wonderland in Portland on Belmont.
Nice.
I don't think it's still there, but I found it there one day and was like, ooh, the light shone. It was
Uh-huh.
beautiful. I gave it so many
You're like, my
nickels.
whole bag of nickels is going to
yours.
this thing.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I just need to look over here. Just looking at Janet is psyched. Oh, she would have picked Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in Time as her
That's a really
stand-up,
good pick,
which
Janet.
I think is good. I think that's a solid. That's a four-player
Yeah,
game. It
we
has
could all pop in.
It's like what was Gauntlet? Do you remember Gauntlet, where it was like a D&D upright game where you could be the
I don't
like
remember
the
that.
archer or the anyway. It was fun too. All right, good. Good answer. Wasted a lot of quarters on the Gauntlet. Let me just make sure everybody is getting love for their comments. We're so glad you're here on the Facebook. I made Cami a bet that I was like, I bet we get more engagement on the Facebook.
Rick and I don't actually bet. He likes to say, "I bet you," and I don't take the bet. Never.
Mark thinks Gauntlet is a solid pick. So,
I bet Mark
so
does.
there.
Yeah.
All right. So
That's so
and
sweet. You're meeting my friends. I love this.
and Jordan would like to say hello to Spike, just
Oh,
in case you're wondering.
Okay. Hey, Spike.
Don't engage the cat.
Oh, tell him later. I'll tell
Yeah.
him after the show, Jordan.
Yeah,
I
that's
promise
fine.
I'll tell Jordan. I'll give him a churro for you.
Excellent. Be Jordan's Churu. All right. Not sponsored by Churu by any means.
No,
So
but it makes the cat happy. So
next question. You've only completed 2.
this live is good. I love this live. I feel good.
All
I
right.
like it. Let's do
All
it.
Here we go.
Question number 3.
Would you rather know a little bit about a lot of things or a lot about one thing?
A little bit about a lot of things. I think that
Why?
would keep me alive longer.
Yeah, cocktail parties.
Well, just in life in general. Like, what if the one thing that I know about is how a microphone works, but I can't do anything else practical because I just know exactly how a microphone works, but
Well,
I
you
don't
could
know how to
pick-
make a
you
peanut
could
butter
pick the-
sandwich.
You could pick the thing.
I'm
You're not being assigned the thing.
I'm going to stand by my answer because
Okay.
I think I'm
All
more
right.
of a generalist than a specialist.
Oh, I see. That's very well phrased.
Thanks.
Good job. All right. Fine. That one's answered. I don't think you're wrong.
You don't think I'm wrong, but you don't like my answer either.
No, it's fine.
interesting.
I'm fine with your answer.
Mhm.
There are no wrong answers here. This is a
Mhm.
safe space.
Mhm.
Anyone can answer however they like. This one should be easy.
Is
I
this
don't
question
even
number
know
4 or 5?
4.
Okay.
I don't even know why it's on my list, but it just
Oh.
made me laugh when I
Okay.
wrote it down. So, celery or carrots?
Carrots.
Why?
Because celery is solid water.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. Carrots embody flavor, like they don't embody flavor, they impart flavor, right? You can like a carrot, you can eat a carrot and like actually feel like you've eaten something. You can do additional things with carrots. You can dice them up. You can put them in your fried rice. It's the one vegetable that I won't argue with you about in fried rice, aside from onion. I really like them. Celery, if I were living in a desert, celery would be great, but mostly celery is just to get a dip into my mouth, or peanut butter, or to put crunch into something.
Cool. I don't disagree. I was
But also, why not
looking for a
both?
little more. Oh, Mark makes a good point. Celery has built-in floss.
Yes, but it gets stuck in your teeth.
It's like
in a
nature. It's
vicious
like
way.
nature's floss.
It is nature's floss. Nature's floss is a bitch.
Whoa. Damn. All right. So no celery love on this show, I guess.
I love celery. You make me choose between celery and carrots.
All right, fine.
You forced me to pick.
All right, next question.
Question number 5.
I'd like to treat the witness as hostile, Your Honor. Okay. This one may be difficult. I am not just looking for 2 answers. I am looking for more than 2 answers.
I hate these so much.
2 answers would be hard, but I feel like there's more opportunity to explore. Okay?
Okay.
You have to cast a reboot of Moonlighting. Who is in it?
I can't even pass because you're an ass and you put it at the end.
You can pass. Go ahead and pass. It's fine.
Pass.
Oh, well, let's get to your next question then, which is you have to cast a reboot of Moonlighting. Who do you choose for the various roles?
It was perfect.
This is gonna cause a lot of editing on the shorts, I think.
Moonlighting was perfect the way it was. So I would.
It went on too long.
It did.
That's the thing that made me think about it. Is we were talking about these series that they ended at the top of their game, and while we're sad to see them go, they didn't drag it out like Moonlighting or Cheers or whatever, like where it just was clearly going on too long.
I refuse to recast Bruce Willis, and I refuse. And now my brain just got. Oh my God, Serial Mom. Where did my Sybil Shepherd? I refuse. So I would recast as a young Bruce Willis and a young Sybil Shepherd.
What?
Yeah, that's what I just.
You don't have a time machine.
Okay, fine. Then we're going to be doing Moonlighting. The sequel instead, and we're going to cast Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd and the rest of the original cast.
Bruce Willis has given up acting. He cannot star in Moonlighting. That's an impossibility.
Yes, it absolutely is. You're right, but you didn't ask me to cast in a way that was possible. You asked me to cast.
You want Demi Moore coming down on you? She's watching out for Bruce, so be careful.
This is not even going to happen in real life, so I don't think Demi's going to be mad at me.
Come
on,
I
respect.
Just
hey,
try.
Stop. Pause. Hey, Demi. Thank you for taking care of him. He's a national treasure, and I appreciate you making sure that he's doing okay. I don't actually want to make him do any work. My partner has asked me a ridiculous question. You don't recast Moonlighting. You know that. I know that. We both know that.
He owns half of Southern Idaho at this point, so I have to defer to him as the governor of Southern Idaho. Come on, like Sam Morrill. Wouldn't Sam Morrill make a good like Bruce Willis character, like smartassy kind of crunchy dude?
Okay, I'll accept Sam Morrill.
What am I answering the question? Come on, try.
Okay, Sam Morrill as Bruce Willis.
It's Bruce Willis. David Addison. His name is David Addison.
Sam Morrill is Bruce Willis. What do you think? And you're not going to like this, I don't think, but Margot Robbie as Sybil Shepherd.
Oh, interesting. I don't disagree with that. It's just she's still kind of in her, not that Sybil wasn't fantastic, but oh, Mark just killed it in the comments and
You
you
have to
can't
tell
even see
me.
it. Ryan Reynolds and Anna Kendrick.
I would watch that.
I would totally watch that. That's a great
I would
answer,
totally
Mark.
watch that.
The
Who else do you need me to cast? I can't
no,
even remember.
the only other thing I want to say about the Sybil role is she was uh she was designed as a character to be past her prime in her career. So I think that's an important, like Anna Kendrick still at the height of her career. Um Margot Robbie still at the height of her career. Like is there somebody who you think would be believable as someone kind of beyond the height of their career, even if they're not? Because Sybil still had a great career after Moonlighting.
Okay, let me think on it. Hold on.
How about Martha Stewart? She was the Sports Illustrated cover model. So
Martha Stewart was just the Sports Illustrated. It's not like Martha Stewart was the Sports Illustrated supermodel 50 years ago.
I know.
She was the cover model this year, dumbass. She's
But
not past her
Martha's-
prime. She's
Can
smoking
you
the
imagine-
dank with Snoop, and I don't want to hear anything about this right now. She's
Maybe
also a
it's-
felon. She's also a
maybe
felon,
it's-
so we're not casting Martha.
Maybe it's Snoop and Martha or the Moonlighting.
Okay, there you go. There's my recast.
Wait,
But
who's
no, it's
Agnes
not.
DePesto? Who's Agnes DePesto?
Annie Potts.
Annie Potts is too old to do
I don't
Agnes
care.
DePesto.
You didn't ask me to be realistic, and I just cast Sybil Shepherd as an 80-year-old Martha Stewart, so you can't tell me that Annie Potts is too old. Ha motherfucker. So Snoop Dogg, Martha Stewart, Annie Potts. Although
Fine.
I think that Anna Kendrick and Ryan Reynolds is sublime casting.
I like Ryan Reynolds from the sarcasm. Oh, Jessica Lange. Jessica Lange is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
This was cruel and unusual. This question number 5.
What?
It was
I have
really
so
good.
many. I have so many recasting questions. I have a whole
So good.
laundry list of recasting. Okay, so that's mildly interesting questions. If there are any of those that you're like, oh yeah, that's one you should ask a guest in the future, like that, please let us know
Please let
in
us
the
know.
comments. That kind of thing. We're just
6
test driving questions. I don't know that any. Maybe hostess treats.
The Hostess Treats one's pretty good, but I worry it's too American centric.
Fair.
Not that we've
Oh.
got a lot of international guests, but I'd like to be inclusive when we do.
No, that's fair. Okay, so done with questions. Let's get into the production meeting.
Thank God, because this has already been 45 minutes. We've got to pick it up here.
You had a lot of expository on your questions this time.
You
I'm not blaming you for
expository.
us running late, but
You
I'd like to
are.
get to your production notes, please.
I have some.
Okay, let's hear.
My
So,
first-
whoa. Just because there's some new people here, there are actually people online who are paying attention to us
Hi,
for some
people.
reason. So the production meeting, when we get to the production notes, this is really us working on the show. Like
Oh, for real, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, for real. Like it's things we're sharing with you that we're working on, stuff we want to figure out. We'll share stats about like what we're seeing in terms of engagement and those kind of things. So that's this part of the show. So production notes, Cami.
Okay, some of these are going to seem a little silly given that you just told them that it's serious, but whatever. My first production note is I'd like to discuss when we change up the mildly interesting questions because we're going to keep a couple of them, but there are a few that I'm ready to swap out, and I want to know what's our timeline.
So here's my thing.
Can we tell? I want to share with the people because I don't know that they've all watched an episode. I'm just going to share our five questions.
Do you want to
That's
ask me a question and then not let me answer it and kind of go on
Yes,
to your own
that's
thing?
exactly.
Okay,
I want
cool.
to just talk over
Perfect.
you. No,
Yeah, that
you
works.
please go ahead.
No, please.
Okay. Can I share the questions with the people and then you can answer my question?
I don't even remember your question, so please
Okay.
feel free to
So
answer
I'm going to share the 5 questions and then I'll restate my question. Our current mildly interesting questions for guests are: number 1, what's your favorite but least useful hobby? Number 2, would you like to survive the zombie apocalypse? Number 3, what is the last food that you photographed? Number 4, what's the best season? And number 5, magnets or stickers. Rick, when do you think it's time for us to change up those questions?
So, what I was saying is I appreciate that your concept of like a season. Like, I just think we need to pick either, I think there can be 2 ways to do that. We can pick a number that is a season, like 20 episodes is a season, and then 20 guests is a
Yeah.
season, and then we switch up the questions. Or the other thing I was thinking about is like we can learn to talk on live video.
Snap
since
your
I won't.
fingers and choose to learn English.
We can pick a particular milestone that says once we achieve this milestone, then we'll switch things up, which might be motivating for folks to be like, oh, once we get 20 new question submissions, we'll change them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but I'm fine with.
I like your milestone because that gives us something to move forward to. But I like the how many guests also, like, even more, because I love consistency and practice.
Okay.
And if we say 20 guests, or I don't know how many guests have we had?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'll go
go
look.
back and count. We'll pick a number. Anyone want to suggest a number? You let us know.
I think 20 is going to be let me look. I'm looking right now, so go ahead and keep talking.
Well, I was just thinking, after we've completed the last guest question, so we've asked 20 guests the question, then the production meeting that follows that final guest being asked the question, that's the mildly interesting questions that Rick and I answer during the production meeting, because I think it's only fair that we finally answer the mildly interesting questions that we've been asking everyone else. What do you think of that?
Yes. Sorry, I'm still digging for.
Never have to be sorry for agreeing with me. I love that.
If you want to pick a number, then let's just do that, and we can call that a season. And 18. We've had 18 guests on the show.
Okay, let's do 20.
20. Okay.
Yeah, 20. Cool. Okay, so we've got. Wow. All right. Mild. This is the next mild production note. Hey, you guys, do you remember when I lost one of my AirPods? I found it. I have AirPods now. That was just a note. It was no question for anyone. I just didn't want people to think I was going in there without headphones on. Another production note, and I think it's been noticed. Rick created a Facebook page. Do you think that you'll engage with us there? Because we have people currently engaging with us on that Facebook page. I'm going to guess the answer is yes. Yes. That was a good idea.
I mean, there are people on the Facebooks who are paying attention.
That's what I'm saying. Okay. And then we discussed this briefly, Mr. Producer. The talent needs something to look at because she just keeps looking at the screen. And I need something.
I forgot to solve that.
To make me happy.
That's my bad.
Yeah. So if you could work on that, that would be fantastic. And then my final note is I'm in charge of telling you how many people we have on Instagram. We have 220.
Whoa. We're not that part of the meeting yet.
Okay. I'll just save that for that part of the meeting. I'm done. I'm done with my production notes.
Very specific agenda here.
Okay. You are right. And
so
you are the producer. This is your show.
The next part of the agenda is how many.
My God, you have a pen now too.
How many Instagram followers do we have, Cami? We're on to stats. I run a tight ship. Just deal with it.
220.
220, is that up, flat?
It's a little up.
All right, cool.
I think we somehow gained some more Instagram followers when we did our quest for more YouTube followers.
Oh, Mark has a good
Mahesh is here. Hi, Mahesh.
D&D item. Oh, hey, Mahesh. You missed your question, but we're glad you're here. You can see it in the short once I cut it up. We're actually making Mark laugh, apparently, which is more than we do for most of the audience. Me, you, sure, fine. So Mark says a list of 20 questions, and then guests have to roll a d20 for their 5 questions.
Okay, but
And we can ship them. We can ship them a d20.
Mark's company has to make me a die box with the mildly interesting logo.
Okay.
So Dirty Woods create a custom dice box for me with mildly interesting people, and we will change our format. So we'll do 1 through 4 will all be the same question, and then the 5th question, the guest will roll a d20.
Cool. I love it.
And we'll have Mark on the show to test it out. I don't know.
Yeah, he'll be the first one that'll
Or
have
Janet.
to
You two can
suffer
pick.
through that.
Sorry, Mark. I'd rather have Janet on the show, but you're fine
Janet's okay, accepted. We have a handshake deal on that one.
All right, Janet, I'm going to be reaching out to you. We'll schedule your appearance. We'll record this
Tower
week.
included.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So excited. All right, Janet, we'll be recording this week. I'll work out a time with you. That'll be good. Awesome. Look at all the problems I'm solving today.
Making stuff happen in the Facebooks. Okay. Cool. So you've done your IG. Let me do where we are on our other stats. So Spotify just keeps chunking along like the podcast does. We have 1,242 plays, which is pretty consistent week after week. About the same number of folks listening to episodes. Some folks are catching up on old episodes. So that's where we are on just the audio podcast. And
if y'all are catching up on old episodes, go watch the episode with Jordan Hales. Just saying.
Yeah, that's a good one. And you should listen to it or watch it, whatever you prefer. These are the stats for people just listening. Okay. And the other part is we release guests as actual episodes, and then this kind of stuff is just bonus content. So there's different levels on that kind of stuff. And then on the YouTubes, let me get to our stats here. So 269 subscribers, which is ridiculous considering we were complaining about having 245 subscribers last Sunday. And then we begged for subscribers and recorded a video in celebration of those subscribers who felt guilt tripped into becoming 250 subscribers. And now we're at 269, which Bill and Ted would be really happy with. Yeah.
I'm gonna let Mika know. She'll be very excited. Excellent. And now we'll just have to guilt trip 221 more 221 more people.
Wait, but I do have
31 into following.
Yes, but I do have another. So in case folks haven't followed along, like we like to celebrate small wins. Some might say they're mildly interesting wins. And so we like to take the opportunity to just kind of celebrate that progress. And so I think the next milestone we have the potential of achieving is the number of total views on the channel. And we're currently at 98,739 views. And
so we're going for 100K.
I'm hoping sometime this week we get to 100K. So that's kind of where we are on the YouTube front. Obviously, a lot of that is coming from the shorts, not just our long form content, but still, better. I mean, I think that's worth celebrating 100,000 views in 5 months, 4 months. Yeah. So anyway, So that's where we
Good
are
job.
on that stuff. Good job, us.
And good job, all of you. Well, good job. Thank you. Good
And
job, and
thank
thank
you.
you.
Yeah. Thank you to everyone who has taken the opportunity to subscribe and followed us on the Facebooks now that we have that, and the Instagram and the YouTube. So thank you for being here. And I think the other part is like, let us know if these live sessions are in any way whatsoever entertaining, or you would like to participate in them, because we're happy to keep them going. And I have to be honest, like, I love the Facebook engagement. It's
I
pretty
have
great.
to say, I don't care what anyone else says. We're keeping the live engagement because Janet just sent me a whopper of a question for you next week.
Oh, well, all right. There you go. Already paying dividends with the lives. So, and then we've got people on YouTube as well. So technically, I'm glad both of those are working as expected, and people seem to be enjoying that. I think my only concern is we need to get Cami set up in a way that she can see the chat from everything happening, because she can't see that right now. So
no, I can see that. I can't see Facebook at all. I can see that we've got YouTube because we've got Jordan, Barbara, and Mahesh.
Yeah.
But
Yep. Cool. Anything else before we close this one out?
No, I want dinner.
Okay, cool. Mahesh says he likes the live. Thanks,
Yay,
Mahesh.
thank you, Mahesh.
It's good to have you here. It's good to have all of you here. Thank you for making time. Hope this didn't disrupt your Sunday evening. Hope you have a beverage or something to make everything happy. Janet's doing shots, apparently. I don't know.
Janet, I'm shocked. I'm shocked to learn that there's gambling happening in this facility.
All right.
Yeah. And let us know if this was a good time. This is a very different time than we tried the last time, but this time feels better for us. It's 6 p.m. Pacific. It feels like a much better energy fit and a much better, like, it's like a nice little capper to my weekend. So,
and I would offer, we would be comfortable going later as well. Like, if people have, like, if this is dinner time, West Coast, and people are having difficulty attending, we could easily go later. We don't have a ton of folks in different time zones. It's mostly
I think
West
8 p.m.
Coast.
Pacific is my limit.
Yep.
Just saying.
Okay. Cool. Thank you, Jordan. It was really good to have you here. Thank you, Mahesh. And thank you, of course, to Janet and Mark for tuning in on the Facebooks. That's awesome. And and they Janet and Mark are East Coast. So
Yes.
they said this is a good time for them.
Because
So
their kids are already down. Okay. Perfect.
So let's just plan next week. It'll be a 6:00 as well, and we'll test that again.
Are you sure you want to do that? I think next week is Father's Day.
Father's Day.
Okay, cool.
We'll figure it out.
Okay, I'm so excited.
All right.
I'm going to go eat tacos.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, production crew. As always, feel free to add mildly interesting people, production crew, to your LinkedIn or whatever helps you. You're providing critical feedback as part of the production crew, and we really appreciate you being here. We will see you hopefully live next week with your typing more at us. And if you can't make it, don't worry, because we always record this stuff. We'll always record this stuff for you, so don't worry about it. Cool. Well, Cami, anything else before we sign off?
No, just thank you all for joining us. You really made my evening.